Not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Here we are, another edition of the magAMedia.org podcast. I'm Andrew at Smalltown Andrew with at RobJH1. Rob, today we got a few subjects to talk about. Last night, Rob posted on the website an article on the war on conservative women, talking about how the mainstream media and the liberals, who are supposed to be the pro-feminist, pro-women movement, treated conservative women like Sarah Sanders, Melania Trump, Kellyanne Conway, and a host, Elisa Stefanik most recently, and a host of others so unfairly. Tell us about that, Rob.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, you and I have been talking for quite some time about, I've been wanting to do a piece on conservative women when I did my piece on Nikki Haley last week. And, just looking at the atmosphere and the environment of the constant attack on these women simply because they're not liberals. You look at Melania Trump, our First Lady. She has not appeared or graced the cover of any fashion magazine. Why is that? Why can't Vogue, Bazaar, any of these Cosmopolitan, any of these women, any of these magazines who seemingly support women, why won't they put her on a cover? And why won't Michelle Obama speak up and say, hey, this isn't right. I know what it's like being a first lady and you're under a microscope. What is it about Melania that these folks hate so much? And then just the other day, she was booed in Maryland when she was coming on stage to talk about the opioid addiction. You have these students that are booing her. I'm thinking, are you serious? This is the first lady of the United States. You might not like her politics, you might not like her husband, but she deserves respect. And so do all these other conservative women that they seem to not want to talk about. Look at Sandra Day O'Connor, first female Supreme Court justice. Hardly ever is she mentioned. But Ruth Bader Ginsburg, they did a movie about her. I'm like, are you serious? Like, who is she? What has she done? Now, I give her props, but come on, Sandra Day O'Connor, the first female on the courts who has shaped a lot of our laws, and they can't, give her due? It's like, what's in the water? What is this? And these are the people, being the Democrats and the liberal media, that supposedly support women's rights. These are the people who started the whole Me Too movement. But when it comes to the women on the right, the conservative women who get up and do it every day, Kellyanne Conway, the first woman who was able to get a candidate elected to high office, the presidency, prior to her it was all men. And you guys can't give her props. Instead, Wolf Blitzer wants to talk about her husband. It's like, Wolf, what's going on in your love life? Are you serious? I mean, this is unbelievable. I can't believe the audacity of these people to do this. Hence the reason why I wrote the article. And I would encourage everyone to go to magAMedia.org and look at the article, as well as the other articles that we have there, because you'll be surprised at the amount of information that the mainstream media is not giving you.
That reminds me of when Megyn Kelly left Fox News. I know most listeners probably aren't a big fan of hers, but she had a reputation of being conservative, and NBC treated her like trash.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she started out, I think it was Bill O'Reilly who plant a message in the ears of the executives at Fox News that, hey, she's good, give her a show. So they gave her a show. Then her head got big because she started going one-on-one with Donald Trump, and she decided, I'm going to jump to CBS. And what did they do? They trashed her. So it's like no good deed goes unpunished. And I would say that to a lot of other conservatives who are listening to the left for guidance, thinking that they're going to appreciate you and ingratiate you. No, they're not. They're just using you. As soon as they're done chewing you up, they're going to spit you out, and they're going to step all over you. It's like, come on, wake up.
Yeah. She wasn't even fired for wearing blackface. She was fired for saying that blackface wasn't that offensive.
And I think about it. I'm like, what is the big deal here? Going where the money takes you, or you move with the wind? But come on, folks. Let's get real here.
Yeah, exactly right. Another interesting that came out was the support for President Trump in the black community seems to have
Yes.
really risen up to 34%. Some poll, I
Yep.
believe it was Associates Press reported that could be as high as 34%. Have you noticed a difference since 2015, 2016, the support for
Well,
President Trump among blacks?
Well, interestingly enough, I will say that being black myself, just in case you haven't noticed, I would say that when it comes to physically, I am a conservative. And I think that a lot of blacks, truth be told, are the same way. But I think they have bought into this whole thing that Democrats are going to help you. Democrats are going to do this. When in actuality, the only thing the Democrats want to do is get the blacks dependent upon them. Once they're dependent upon them, they can't get away from them because they will always need something from the Democrats to help them out. Look back in the 60s when they created all these social programs and they took the fathers out of the households and the mothers had to run things. And the man was just out there realizing that, hey, if I stay here with my family, I can't get a job. My family's going to suffer. They're going to go hungry. But if I leave my family, my wife and my children can get public assistance, can get on welfare, and they won't go hungry. So that was almost this thing that was created by the Democrats in the 60s, and it has just like made its way all the way to 2000. Now I think blacks are waking up. And as Donald Trump said, what do you have to lose? The social programs of the left have not helped blacks at all. It has kept them dependent upon a system that doesn't care about them. So again, hence, they're dependent upon the Democrat and their policies. So when I saw this, the 34% polling that blacks are leaning toward Trump, I was like, hooray, they're waking up. Now, of course, Ana Navarro, who's supposed to be a Republican, who appears on CNN and on ABC's The View, which is like a group of women just hackling at each other. She went berserko. And the statement, oh yeah, and the statement that she made that, oh, this poll has to be from Ben Carson or Kanye West. I'm like, are you serious? To me, I took that to be offensive for her to say something like that, as if the blacks can't think for themselves. It's like, keep the blacks on the mental slave plantation of the Democrats. We keep them there. We give them something every so often, and they'll stay with us. No. It is a new day. It is time for blacks to wake up and walk away, as Candace Owens has been saying for quite some time. It's time to walk away, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, thinking that you're going to get a different result, that's idiocy. It's not going to happen. Look at Joe Biden. The other night during the debate, who was lost, needless to say, but he was claimed that, oh, the blacks, they like me, I got the black votes. But what have you done for blacks? Second chance program to get you out of jail and to convince these companies to hire you. But do they want to mention that? No. But blacks are seeing through this now. They are beginning to wake up and see, hey, I have more money in my pocketbook. I have more money in my wallet. I have a job, and I'm not dependent upon this guy because he's saying, hey, here it is. Go after it. You can do it. And that is the reason why blacks, that number, and I think it might be greater than that.
Right.
To be honest with you.
It's always laughable to me. I see a lot of these liberals online try and treat Dr. Ben Carson like he's some kind of idiot. It's like the guy's a brain surgeon.
Right. Now, before he professed his political stance, they all loved him. Right. HBO did a movie about him. They said that, hey, let us be ourselves. We need to start standing up for ourselves. And ever since then, they hated him. They hated the guy. Now, I mean, he seems to be a bit quirky, but the guy is right on the money as far as standing up, self-preservation, and that, hey, don't give me something to eat. Show me how to fish, and I can eat a lifetime. So with Maxine Waters attacking him, I'm like, are you serious, Maxine? You're the one who needs your head, and someone to look at your head to make certain that you're all there. Because half the time you're stumbling through your speeches, just like Nancy Pelosi. Come on, give me a break.
Speaking of Nancy Pelosi, is it just me, or now that we're a few weeks into the impeachment, it seems like her relevancy is just washed away? You don't even hear about her much in the last few days.
Well, you know, Eddie, I did an article on her magAMedia.org. I think it was probably in the spring. And I said the title of it was Grab Her by the Heels, I think. And every so often, the media, mainly CNN, they try to like push her up as if though she's this like powerful woman and she knows how to count votes. If anything, she knows how to count votes and she knows how to do this and blah, 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 blah. And they show her coming from the White House after the president has like given her lunch, basically kicked her out. And they say, oh, she's cool, she's this, she's that. No, she's neither. What she is nervous Nancy. Okay, Nancy can barely get through a complete sentence without jittering or stumbling over her words. This woman is not a person a potential player. Give me a break. They're building her up that way. They all know that she's probably has some nervous tick. She's 78 years old, for God's sake. It's like, lady, retire. But she won't retire. You know why? Because she wants to set a record. She wants to set a record as being the longest serving female representative on the Hill. Are you serious? You're supposed to be about doing the people's business. What about the Mexico-Canada trade deal? Where are we with that? I haven't forgotten about it. That's going to be huge money for us. Why haven't they pushed that agenda? What is Nancy doing?
Almost 350 days ago, President Trump signed that, and Nancy Pelosi still has not put it up for votes in the House.
She hasn't because she does not want the president to succeed. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the way it is with a lot of things that are on his agenda that he's presenting to the House. They don't want to pass it. They know that it makes sense, but they don't want to pass it because they know that if they pass it, people will start looking, the voters will start saying, man, this guy is true to his word. He's doing what he said he was going to do, and we keep winning. So, no, Nancy isn't powerful, and I'm glad she's in hiding because she's a nervous wreck. She jumped the gun on impeachment, thinking that the president wasn't going to release the transcript of this conversation, and she moved, we're going to impeach the president. I mean, the whole thing is a bunch of yah-yah. Okay? It makes absolutely no sense. So, wherever she is, wherever she's hiding, Nancy, stay there. Your time is limited. I hope people go out in 2020 and vote because your votes matter. We need to get them out of the House for once and for all. Get them out.
Yes, sir. Last night, President Trump was in Sunrise, Florida.
Yes.
He reportedly drew a crowd of 20,000 patriots along with thousands more outside. The pictures are unbelievable, the amount of people that were there. But for new Democrat candidate Deval Patrick, apparently things aren't going so well. He did a little speech at a school and he had to cancel it because he had 2 people show up. and 3 days before that, on Monday, he did another speech at a different school and he had about 13 people show up.
And I wonder if those people were related to him or were they paid to show up. And not only that, for Deval Patrick, Bloomberg kicked off his campaign in Virginia to a very small crowd, I think about 20 people or 30 people. It's like, and you want to best Donald Trump, who fills arenas. I mean, they're busting at the seams with people on the inside the school and on the outside, they're waiting to get in. And he thinks that he can buy the election.
When Donald Trump ran for president, he'd already been on TV for 30 plus years. He had the number 1 rated show on television. Everybody knew who Donald Trump was. Most people outside of New York don't know who Bloomberg is, and they don't care about what he did in New York. No. That doesn't go well in Alabama or Louisiana or any of the southern states. Nobody cares about what he got done in New York.
No, well, all the reason he is spending, I think, last week he spent, I think it was almost $100 million on campaign ads in the Mid-Atlantic states trying to trash Donald Trump. This week, I think he's spending $31 million to get his name out there. And I hope it's a colossal failure because you can't buy the presidency. When you think about Donald Trump, when he ran, he hardly spent any of his own money. Just because of who he was, the media thought, oh, we're going to cover him because they were trying to make fun of it. Okay, but little did they know he was gaming them, getting all this free publicity, and then the next thing you know, wham, he was ahead in the polls. It's like, folks, come on, haven't you learned anything? So now, what do? They try not to cover him. So don't try to cover someone like a Deval Patrick, whom they say Barack Obama is secretly trying to push, but hey, Barack Obama, he's not good as far as endorsing candidates, because all the candidates that he has endorsed, they haven't had much luck.
Speaking of fledgling Democrat candidates, Elizabeth Warren, her numbers have really gone in the tank. According to Fox News, Biden retakes lead in new poll as Warren's numbers plummet. Buttigieg gains ground. She's now polling at 16%. And a couple of weeks ago, she was up around 28%. Biden's now at 24% in the lead, which just goes to show none of them are all that popular with the American people. You think the American people finally just figured out she can't give away everything that she's promising?
Will change, and I think they're going to keep changing from here up until January. I do believe, however, that people are now starting to stop and listen to what she's saying, and what she's saying doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Medicare for all, it's a nice thing, but it would literally break the economy. And her thinking, well, I'm going to get the rich people to pay for it. Well, the rich people can just move to another country, cross the border, and then give them free health care, and then give them public assistance. We can't do it. Look at Germany. They're suffering from it. It just can't be done. It's not sustainable. So I think that what's happening to Warren, like I said, the polls are going to go up and down, but people are starting to think about it. They're starting to stop and listen and say, what is she saying? She's not saying a bunch of anything, just like with Bernie Sanders. He's not saying anything either. And I also think it's interesting, Andy, that apparently word is she's going to step in and trash talk Bernie the same way Hillary Clinton did back in 2015, the way they were trash talking him. And then she managed to steal the election from him. Truth of the matter is that these socialists, no one likes them. Okay. They talk a good talk. They like what they're saying, but it's not sustainable. It's not a way to run a government. Look at Venezuela. Look at Cuba. These are all perfect examples of these socialist countries, communist countries that tried it and they failed. So, no, she was up, she's down. And now, like they say, Pete Buttigieg, who has done absolutely nothing, he can't run South Bend, Indiana, yet and still he's out on the countryside gallivanting, vote for me, vote for you for what? For you so that you can be the first gay president? I don't think so, Pete. Next time maybe, but I don't think so. Not at all.
That's right. Anything else you'd like to cover today, Rob?
Well, no, just one more thing. Did you guys see Trump and his Rocky animation?
Oh, yes. That was, triggered the liberals good today with that one.
Oh, my God. They went, well, every time he does anything, they go berserko. And I'm like, folks, take it down a level. The thing is that if Barack Obama were president right now, he would also utilize Twitter because he would realize that, hey, this is a way for me to get my message out there unfiltered from the media, and I can talk directly to the people. And I think that's what
every president from now on will use Twitter like President Trump.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They criticize him for doing it, but you see every representative is on it, every politician, and even the media hacks are on Twitter, but they say, Donald Trump should get off Twitter. We don't want him on Twitter. Well, they don't want him on Twitter because they want to be able to attack him, and he can't attack back. But it's not going to work because he's on Twitter.
Him every time he does something like this, yet they always end up being his largest tweets that he has, I've noticed.
Well, right. I remember when he was running, when he said that he was going to run, and Huffington Post came out and said, well, you know what we're going to do? Everything that he says when we cover him, we're going to put it in the entertainment section because we see it as being entertainment. Well, didn't matter because you're still covering him. And what happened? He walked right into the White House. So if they do this again, he will walk right into the White House. And with Bloomberg saying, well, we're not going to cover our rivals and we're not going to cover Bloomberg, but we're going to cover Donald Trump and we're going to attack him. Folks, we already know all there is to know about Donald Trump. So the more you dish it, the more he's able to spin it and get further exposure. They will never learn. This guy is a media manipulator. He knows how to work the media. And I think the sooner they learn that, which they never will, the better off they'll be. But they won't learn it.
One more thing about the Democrat establishment is this Brenda Lawrence, Michigan Democrat. She said just last week she did not support impeachment, and now apparently she's had a talking to from the DNC and she's changed her stance, and now she's saying she supported impeachment all along.
Right. Well, just one little correction. She didn't have a talking to. I think she had a beat down. I think they took her out to the shed. And just to make it more, it's because the media, they enjoy coming up with all these racist terms. Let me just put it in simple terms. What happened here was that you had a black woman who had an awakening, and she realized that, wait a minute, I can think for myself. I don't need Democrats to tell me what to do. I'm an independent black woman. So she came out over the weekend and she said, hey, impeachment, it doesn't make any sense. It's not going to do anything for us. So maybe we should censure him. But this impeachment thing, it doesn't make any sense. Oh, but then what happens? Someone went to the big house and told Massa Nancy Pelosi. And what did Massa Nancy Pelosi do? You get in here, girl, and I'm going to give you a beating. You don't ever go out there and say that. You need to stick with your talking points. So what does Brenda Lawrence do? She comes back out and she goes, well, I was thinking about it. I didn't say that at all. I was saying that we should go for impeachment. It's like, Brenda, wake up. Think for yourself. Okay? It's not going to help you. What you just did is that you allow the media to turn you away from your own thought process, to jump on board back onto the Democrat slave plantation, which is what we've been saying for the longest. Get off the Democrat slave plantation, mental slave plantation. Think for yourself.
She was worried about the money drying up in her district.
Oh,
from
absolutely.
DNC, but who knows how many voters she just cost herself by coming out.
Well, something that you just said, Andy, about the money drying up, because Nancy controls the purse. She's supposed to be this big fundraiser lady, so she'll easily go to Michigan and say, well, we're not going to give her money, so she's not going to think our way. But sometimes you have to wake up and say, hey, I'm going to put on my big lady panties, and I'm going to say no to impeachment. I'm walking off this plantation. I'm going to free my mind. I'm running away.
That's right. All right, Rob, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope
Same to you.
The listeners do as well. I seen a picture of Barron and Melania's family arriving to Mar-a-Lago.
Yes. Beautiful picture. Beautiful picture.
Yeah, the first family is ready for Thanksgiving, and I hope you all are too. Have a great Thanksgiving, and thanks for listening and watching. Be sure
Absolutely.
to check out next time on magAMedia.org.